How do you view it?
It's okay.
Calling back
I think the people, both the legislative and the executive arms, the people who give them mandates, we are not happy because the 6 months of this military emergency we had, there was no precedented development we can cite. Nothing happened in the state. So it means 6 months we are stagnant because of we are all looking for peace. And the only thing I would say, the 6 months emergency will give to Rivers is peace and tension to reduce the tension of our states, so that the political class and their supporters will not be clash and fighting each other. That is the only achievement we have. But in times of employment, growth, economical growth, um, development, employment, no, zero. I score zero. The only peace we derive from the 6 months is the peace that has come to stay between the gladiators. The governor we had the crown, so he knows where it pinches him. And the both parties have sued for peace. So I would say the peace should sustain, it should follow peace and carry everybody along statewide so that the states can move forward. Let the peace that they sue for, the both parties, be sustained, and the governor should carry everybody along so that the pace can sustain and development and employment can accelerate so that there will be no rancor. And our appeal to the governor and our appeal to our FCT minister that please let their supporters should not bring their personal interests into the governance and activities of the state. Let them be the FCT minister and the executive governor always like us and see how the state will have a betterment. In fact, River State is competing with other states. Let me put it that way. So as we speak now, we are one of the states that is competing with the other states in terms of development, in terms of growth, in terms of economic, in terms of employment. So we will appeal to the governor that he should carry everybody along in this government. You will see both old, young, small, youth, women, everybody will support the governor. When there is no security and environment, when there is no people staying an environment, even though you build the structure will turn to dilapidated. It will turn to moribund. It will turn to so many things. So I will say, I will appeal to the governor that the governor should connect the rural area to the urban area, so that those rural people can access the urban area. The urban people can access the rural area, so that businesses and human beings can be. You know, one thing in life, road brings development. So the only way all those rural areas can be developed is the governor to map out with the state assembly how they can connect from this local government to this local government, from this local government to this community, from this local government to you will see it will give people relative mind. Even someone who want to go and start a business in Abua, because of he knows that there is an access road to where he is, he will go and cite it. Because you know, some of the industries we have, you like it or not, is not conducive for environment that people live because the chemical they are using to produce some of their raw materials. So they would like to look for a distance where the business can be site and they will have a relative peace. So that from there, buyers and they can also import it to any part of this country, even abroad. But that can only happen when you have an access road to that location. So the only thing I would say, the governor should look at it. Port Harcourt is really developed. Our former governor tried his best and he has done, giving them the best of his kind. Now let's look at Greater Port Harcourt that has been one of the episode of the River State government focus that look, let's make another city called Greater Port Harcourt from the Port Harcourt city. Look at that side. Then also look at where they put the trade fair. where they said it's around on 9 houses. Let's look at it, what can do. Because one thing that makes people to leave the rural area, relocate to the urban area is employment. Because those rural areas, they cannot access those employment. And I believe that if the governor focus with the state assembly on these projects, you will see that all those our other local governments development will be approached. Like my place, Kola, the federal government has marked the coastal roads, except that can come to my place. But to build bridges and roads to Kola, my community is like 10 million bridge of 2 or 3 million bridge that you are going to build. And that project is not a state government project, it's a federal government project. You can't do it alone. Or there will be partnership of maybe NDDC and the state government. Maybe in conjunction, they will begin to push all the way the government of Bayelsa State is having a conjunction with the NDDC, doing road from Nimbe to Brass. That is how it can be possible, so that there will be counterpart fund from the both side to push such projects. So, there are so many places River State can even access revenue and employment to our dear state. But all is boiled down to development and roads. Let me say this. When Odile was in power, one of the key area I score him the best when he was a governor is the hospital. Because he's a doctor by academics. He moved the Port Harcourt General Hospital from town to UPTH, where it is now in Choba. He gave it edifice. When that place was reopened, it was one of the best hospitals then in Nigeria, because that is his own particular skill God has given to him. He's a medical doctor, so he give it the best. He built equally other hospitals, bigger hospitals in River State. When our former governor, SYMFONI, was in office, I scored him the best on 2 things. One, areas of what they call the law. The Nigerian, because he's a barrister. So we have a good edifice for judiciaries and MBAs. We have good school called law school, because that is some particular skill he has. Then when we have our former governor, Right Honorable Rotimi Chibuike, because of his own gift as a governor, associate, business entrepreneur, brother, he empowered the government in power that time. Then our former governor Wike was also chief of staff. So he sees that empowerment and what they call health center to women, to access health center, so that they cannot be able to be facing those challenges when a woman is pregnant in their locality. They can't access primary health care. He did in a way that he went into a business, because he's like a business. He associated himself from when he was
one of the state IPP, independent power project.
The independent power project, because
power is key.
The independent power project, all the governors that are coming, none of them is skilled to that project to be maintained. That is where we are driving to. Their skills of the governors, they are not the electrical or electronic engineers that who understand what.
But can't get advice from others.
That's one of the things in governance. In governance, every person has their own skill, you like it or not. Like now, we have Governor Fubara. I'm telling you, where I scored more now currently is from the civil servant, because he's a civil servant. That is some skill. So if anything you want to relate with him, he will score the highest there. So first, he will make sure where the civil servants are working, he will give it the best. So far as I'm concerned. And he will also treat them best because he's coming from that constituency. So every governance comes with their own particular skill of profession. I have to be honest with you. So that is how I relate. That's how I've seen the governance. Just like Akpabio and Udom Emmanuel. Akpabio is a practical man. He want to make sure his people sees what is going to establish in Akwa Ibom. Odom came from Lagos. He's a business mogul. He established aircraft to make sure a bomb air is being applied, not only in Nigeria. Now he's going to outside the country. But that is his own idea. He's a businessman. The government comes with skill on its own that they are experts in that particular aspect. So that independent power plant that was built, we have not seen governance and who read or who is coming from that skill of profession to
So
man.
they abandoned like that.
Governance. I have come to see governance. I looked at governance in two ways, sir. The demands of the people or their supporters or what their people, close to people, are telling them. You cannot go and bring a barrister to go and be head of power plant. He cannot advise you anything. You cannot bring a commissioner from agriculture, someone who read maybe electronic engineer. You take him to become agriculture commissioner for agriculture. There will be no results, sir. There will be no result. So I look at it from failure comes from the people that we are engaging on their professional skill for the job. So that is where I look at it as a failure that is coming. If it's a power plant, you look for those people who have those skills to demonstrate in that field. But the politician will look around at those people that are those skills available during his campaign, during his election. No. So he will give to those who stood with him, and those who stood with him will look at the boys around him to know who is more faithful and loyal. So they will not also go for that skill. So the only way, if you want to make sure that that thing works, you have a department that you engage and employ student or graduate from that skill to be mount and man. If you go to, like for an example, if you go to Ministry of Justice, if you are not a lawyer, they will not employ you in that ministry. That's the only standing ministry in the whole world.
So you should fit the right people in the right place.
Yes.
So that these things can work.
Can work. So they must have a commission or a ministry that the standard or the curriculum must be an electronics engineers to be employed in that ministry. If you don't have that certificate and that particular idea, you will not be employed. That's why Ministry of Justice is very powerful in a state and in any nation. If you are not a lawyer, they can't engage you.
To be
Yes.
before the National Assembly. Can you expatiate on it?
Yes, currently, if they said Nigerian youth today, who are you going to call Nigerian youth? If today somebody say Nigerian youth, who is the leadership of Nigeria? Yes. It happens to us during the NSAS. Who to engage? Nigerian youth are hungry. The question is who are we going to engage and discuss with them as government? So we don't have a coordinating laws that governs the activities of the Nigerian youth in this country. You go to community, there is a youth. You go to local government, there is a youth. You go to church, there is a youth. You go to mosque, there is a youth. You go to state, there is a youth. You go to zone, there is a youth. You go to national, there is a youth. So we look at it in a way and manner. The way Nigerian Football Federation, it is now. Before you migrate, say they want to play the league of the Nigerian league. They will make sure they streamline you and give you the curriculum of football laws. But Nigerian youth, we don't have that curriculum. So we decided to the Senate Committee Chairman on Youth, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, who is also the spokesman of the 10th National Assembly, said he will do this. He's the sponsor, he's the sponsor of the bill. He's going to do this for the interest of Nigerian youth, for us to have what they call law as a backing. The National Youth Council of Nigeria bill to be coordinated by the National Youth Council of Nigeria, not the way now Sport Commission is. That is the way they are looking at it. So that the president of the Youth Council will be the head of that National Youth Council of Nigerian bill. And it's going to coordinate both ethnic youth groups, community youth groups, local government youth groups, states, regional, churches, mosques, every youth groups. So far as the criteria and the laws, you met it, it will capture you. And so that what we want to speak, we speak in one voice. That this is the decision of the Nigerian youth. This is what we are telling federal government. This is what we are telling state government. This is what we are doing this to do for us. Not like the way labor union and other people are being coordinated. And these are the things we have put even in that bill. And the bill is 40 years, 18 to 40 years. Actually, the Youth Council bill is 18 to 35. But the ethnic youth groups agitated that year, that 35 is too small for them. So we have to consider they were agitating for 50 years. We said no. They bring it down to 45. We said no. So we left it at 40, 18 to 40, so that everybody between that age can strive in the youth struggle as a comrade. You know, but there are some people, they are 50 years, but they are active more than the young people we have. So the Youth Council bill is going to cover 120 million Nigerian youth that will benefit, that will have employment, that will have their educational support, they have the empowerment. Yearly, we are targeting like 15 million youth to be rolled out every yearly to see if the next 4 years, if this bill is being passed, how Nigerian youth will gradually reduce from anything social vices, anything insecurity matter, anything employment. These are the reasons why this bill is being in national. They are looking at the 1% of the Nigerian revenue to be injected into that bill. That's what we are targeting for.